Hi, I'm KJ. I'm gonna review Michael Jackson's Billie Jean performance at the Royal Show in Bandar Seri Begawan in Brunei on July 16th, 1996. I'm gonna tell you what I like and what I don't like by splitting my review into multiple categories. Movement, which is dancing, gestures, and facial expressions, vocals, energy/attitude, instrumentation and sound mix, makeup and hairstyle, cinematography, the vibe, and finally my overall thoughts alongside a ranking from 1 to 10. Let's get to it. Movement. There's a decent amount of dancing here, but it doesn't seem that way because of the camera angles, and I'll touch upon that later. The breakdown here is really what shines the most, as there's some rare occurrences. For starters, Michael does the main choreography with one hand when doing the handspin fin, instead of using both arms. He also does a double spin before doing the standing moonwalk, which is just rad. There's a robotic movement that later becomes a staple of the history tour Billie Jean performances. I'm pretty sure this move is called the snake. Let's move back into the actual song and away from the breakdown here. When Michael kicks, he also points, which again also became a staple of the history tour Billie Jean performances. The camera angles just don't show these pointing moves at all. The main moonwalk is spectacular, it looks as smooth as butter. Sadly, there's only 2 moonwalks instead of 3, but I feel like that's intentional. If you watch Michael perform Billie Jean on tour, he always, well almost always, do 3 moonwalks to Billie Jean. But if you watch his standalone shows like the MTV 1995 show, the MJ and Friends shows, the 30th anniversary shows, and etc., he only does 1 or maximum 2 moonwalks. Just a little thing I caught up on. The expressions aren't really that exciting, with an exception that I'll show right here. Else, Michael just seems tired or uncomfortable for the majority of this performance. Movement gets a 6 out of 10, nothing special. Vocals. This is Michael Jackson's last ever Billie Jean performance sung fully live, and it's understandable. Michael's vocals don't really sound that great here, and I'll tell you why. It's because he's singing like he did during the Dangerous tour, where he sings fast and shorten words so the vocals take less energy but still sound good because Billie Jean ran at a faster tempo during that tour. Here, at this show, the tempo is much slower and Michael has clearly not adjusted. The song sounds empty a lot of the time because Michael shortens his vocals. Now, I did an experiment a while back where I sped up the performance and it basically fixed all my issues with his vocals. Here, let me show you. Everything sounds much more fluid now and the song doesn't feel empty anymore either. I don't know why he didn't just perform the song at the Dangerous Tour tempo, because he clearly sung like he was. Anyways, 5 out of 10 for the vocals. Energy/attitude. Michael really seems uncomfortable, and that has to do because of the heat and him not delivering satisfactory vocals. Michael's makeup is quite ruined because of excessive sweating, unfortunately. Brunei is a really warm country, so it really just does not do it for him here. He isn't especially energetic either. In fact, I would say he's below his normal level of intensity. 2 out of 10. Instrumentation and sound mix. Here's the highlight of this performance. The instruments are super punchy. I especially love the bass. I don't really have much to say here actually because I just really enjoy the instrumental sound. 10 out of 10. Makeup and hairstyle. MJ has some really groovy hair here. The hairstyle is quite similar to the Birmingham 1992 show, which I like. The makeup is not that sharp looking because he's been sweating so much that he ruined his makeup. That's just the way it goes though. I quite like the hairstyle and makeup is just meh. So a 5 out of 10 from me. Cinematography. A lot of the camera angles here absolutely suck, and that's just the truth. They almost always show the worst angles when MJ is dancing. When he points, it's a far away shot or a close-up shot. The close-up shot is fine though. When he does a leg flick, it's a close-up or a side shot, which completely ruins the move. When he does the main choreography, they show this far-away side shot. I can go on and on, but I think my point has been proven. There are still a few good shots though, like the close-up shots are delightful when they don't block movement. Also, because of the mass amounts of smoke on stage, all shots just seem washed out. It's extremely unfortunate. Even with a lot of editing, you still can't quite get it to look nice, which is such a sad thing because the quality is super clear and sharp, but it gets ruined by smoke. 2 out of 10 because there's a few shots that are okay, but a lot of the shots are just straight up ass. Vibe. I cannot groove to this as I can with other Billie Jean performances because the camera shots, vocals, and the mass amount of smoke just completely ruins it. I mean, sure, just listening to the audio itself is good, but again, the vocals kind of ruin it. It's just not up to the usual Michael Jackson standard. I wouldn't really say so. 1 out of 10. Now the final and overall score. I give it a 4 out of 10. This performance is just not as good as literally any other Billie Jean performance. The only thing that makes it somewhat good is the instrumentation. Everything else just really pulls it down. I mean, I would never recommend anyone to watch this Billie Jean performance unless I want to show them the last ever fully live sung Billie Jean performance, or maybe show them one of his worst vocal performances. I don't know, some other reason, but I would never ever recommend this to someone I want to give a good impression of Michael. Might have been a tad bit rough there, but that's really just my opinion. So now I want to hear your thoughts on this performance. Tell me in the comments below. I would love to read them. Anyways, thank you so much for sticking through the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more Michael Jackson videos, but also other videos about Spider-Man and other games I find intriguing in the future. See you next time.